Hi, I'm Jim W6LG, your YouTube Elmer. Welcome to my radio room here in Rockland, California. I have a question for you. Let's say you're on the air and you're talking to a guy in another part of the world. Well, this morning I talked to a guy in Lesotho. That's a long way. On the long path, Mark, 7 Papa 8 Alpha Bravo. He was really weak to me, and I was not so strong to him either. So when would I give my call sign? How often would I do that? We talked for maybe 30 minutes. How often do I give my call sign? Do I give his call sign? And should I use phonetics or not? It might be better to use phonetics if I had a tough call sign. Tough to understand, like my prior one, JZC, at one point. So what do you think? Let's go to Part 97, which is our regulations, and Section .119, and see what it says. See what it calls for. Okay, station identification. Each amateur station, except a space station or telecommand station, must transmit its assigned call sign on its transmitting channel at the end of each communication, and at least every 10 minutes during a communication, for the purpose of clearly making the source of the transmissions from the station known to those receiving the transmissions. No station may transmit unidentified communications or signals or transmit as the station call sign any call sign not authorized to that station. In other words, you have to use a station call sign, the correct one. You can't just make one up. And if you're circling the Earth in a space station, sorry, different rules apply for you. Okay, so what in the world is that saying? What is the message? So let's parse the words just a bit. And to do that, I'm going to need to put on my glasses so I can read the screen. But the FCC rules with respect to their ability to communicate to us, it's difficult at best. I'm trying to say it's poorly written. In many ways, it is if you're trying to communicate it to others. So, okay, so what does that say? What is the FCC telling us that we should be doing? First of all, it's saying it's station identification. In the old days, TV stations used to do that. They would break for station identification. 97.119, station identification. Each amateur station, unless you're in a flying saucer or a spacecraft or something, must transmit its assigned call sign on its transmitting channel at the end of each communication and at least every 10 minutes during the communication. So every 10 minutes. It also says that phonetics may be used. That's a bit of a change from what I remember, but it says a phone emission in the English language. Okay, so we've got to speak our call sign in English. Use the phonetic alphabet as an aid to give the correct station identification. We'll get to that in a minute. But basically, phonetics are okay as long as they're helpful. So I got some that aren't. Stick around. I think you'll find them interesting. So each station must identify every 10 minutes and at the end of the communication. What does that mean? Let's say you run a POTA activation, Parks on the Air, and you've sat down and you start rattling off contacts, communications. And it might go something like this. I would hope not, but this is what I hear. W6LG, Park 95765, you're 5'9". QSL, W6BQW, you're 5'9" at Park 95765. QSL, W6 United Papa, you're 5'9" at Park 97765. QSL, and then when they hand it back to you, you say QSL, QSL, all right, and you go on to the next one. So is that technically legal? No. Why? Because you're supposed to give your call sign at the end of each communication. So when you finish working W6LG, you need to give your call sign. You don't need to give his. Another thing too, does it require that you give the call sign of the station you're talking to? No. Does it require a certain set of phonetics? No, but I think it means use one that helps, not one that makes it bizarre. So that's how I take the FCC rules regarding station identification. It's the station license call letters. It's every 10 minutes or less, and it's also at the end of the communications. Phonetics are reasonable. The rest of it doesn't matter. Every 10 minutes or at the end of the contact. So you might be 33 minutes in or 32 minutes and you say, I don't know, 7 Papa 8 Alpha Bravo, this is W6LG 73 mark, and that's the end of your communication, and I did identify. So his rules may be very different. Let's do one other thing. Let's look at my list of phonetics. Okay, so here we go. Here's Jim, W6LG's phonetic alphabet. A, Isle. B, Delium. C, don't have one yet. D, W. E, I. F, need one there. G, Nat. H, Hour. I, Ian. J, Jalapeno. K, Night. L, Yama. M, Mnemonic. And I'm still missing P, Phonetic. Q, Quiche. S, C. T, Tsunami. U, Earn. W, Right. X, Xylophone. Y, Eaves. Z or Z, don't have one there. If you know of some, let me have them. I'm going to fill this in and we'll see if we can get this published somewhere. All right, I'm Jim, W6LG, for identification purposes in Rockland, California. I'll have hopefully when I publish this thing, I'll have the buy me a cup of coffee thing up and working. Thanks for watching 73. Bye-bye.